Fenway Park opened in 1912 and has been the home for the Boston Red Sox ever since. But it's also been the home to several other teams, including the Patriots from 1963 to 1967. For baseball, Fenway Park is known for having a very interesting and unusual design. First, there's the Green Monster, which is the 37-foot tall wall in left field. It's that high because there's a street right behind it, which causes the left field distance to be only 310 feet from home plate. That's pretty short for Major League Baseball, and the rest of the dimensions are unusual as well. In center field, it gets as far as 420 feet, and then down the right field line as short as 302 feet with the pesky pole. There's lots of weird angles and curves in the outfield wall, and when Fenway Park was used for football, they used to bring in seats in front of the Green Monster. Much of the infield would be on the playing surface of the football field as well. The rest of the stadium was pretty strange for an NFL field. The Los Angeles Coliseum is another very old and famous stadium. It opened in 1923 to be the home of USC football, which it still is today. But it's also been the home to the Rams, Raiders, and other football teams. Probably the strangest field it had was for Major League Baseball. The Los Angeles Dodgers used it as their home stadium from 1958 to 1961, and the 1959 World Series was there. It was also used for an exhibition game between the Dodgers and the Red Sox in 2008. The dimensions were even crazier than those of Fenway Park. It was just 251 feet to the left field line, 420 feet to center, and just 300 to right. A large net was put up in left field to prevent home runs, and a temporary fence was put up in right. There was barely any outfield in left, and overall the field did not look like baseball should be played there. It was very strange, but also interesting to watch. In the NBA, some of the craziest floors were during the 2023 in-season tournament. Each team had a very colorful floor, but some were weirder than others. The Bulls floor was all red and hard on the eyes. The Lakers was mostly yellow with purple, and the Suns was purple and teal. These floors were only used for in-season tournament games. Some of the floors would be cool to be used all the time, but others not so much. One of the most famous fields in college football is Boise State. They play at Albertson Stadium in Boise, Idaho, and the field is colored blue. The surface is artificial turf, and the end zones are orange. When you see it, it's a huge difference from the typical green turf. Boise State also seems to have a huge home field advantage when playing there. Since 1999, they have a record of 141-14 playing at Albertson Stadium. Eastern Washington's football stadium is the complete opposite of Boise State. Their home football field has bright red turf with black end zones. It's called Roos Stadium, and it's not nearly as big as some other ones. The capacity is just 8,600, but it's one of the most memorable fields that you will see. There's also a running track that goes around the field, which is somewhat rare nowadays. Moving back to basketball, there are a couple of interesting floors in college basketball. A well-known one is Oregon's home court. Their arena is called Matthew Knight Arena and has a capacity of a little over 12,000. The Oregon Ducks have a floor painted like a forest in the Pacific Northwest. In the middle of the floor is a lighter color, and you can see the outlines of trees around it. It's been that way since 2010. Florida International University is in University Park, Florida. Their basketball team plays at Ocean Bank Convention Center. On the floor, they have the design of a beach. Most of the court is basically the color of sand, and then there's water along the top of it in a design. They also have some trees, and their logo and mascot are on the center. In fact, the whole arena has a beach theme to it, which is very interesting. Next up is the Oakland Coliseum, which is in every strange stadium video that I make. It opened in 1966 and has been home to both the Raiders of the NFL and the Athletics of the MLB. It was shared for both baseball and football for many years, which caused the strange configurations. For baseball, there's a large amount of foul territory and the dugouts are at odd angles. And for football, the infield dirt of the baseball field was right in the middle of the playing surface, and there was also a lot of extra space. It's been all around a pretty strange stadium for both sports for many years. In Houston, the Astros play at Minute Maid Park. This field is pretty normal now, but used to be very strange for one reason. They had Tal's Hill in dead center field. Tal's Hill was a literal hill in center field which inclined up to the center field fence. The ball was still in play if it landed there, and it was a challenge for center fielders. It was also 436 feet to hit a home run above it. Luckily, there was a warning track in front of it to warn outfielders, but to make things harder, there was also a flagpole on top of the hill in the field of play. Over the years, there were some amazing and memorable plays on Tal's Hill. It was the idea of former Astros president Tal Smith who came up with the creative design. It was in Minute Maid Park until after the 2016 season when it was removed. The Los Angeles Angels baseball team plays at Angel Stadium in Anaheim, California. The Angels have been playing there since 1966, but it was the home of the Los Angeles Rams of the NFL as well from 1980 to 1994. There are a number of stadiums in the 80s and 90s that shared football and baseball. Most of them looked kind of odd as well. Anaheim Stadium really looked like a baseball field with a football field just put in it. The infield dirt was sometimes on the playing field for football, and the warning track was also on part of the field, and they had to move some of the fences around. Because of this, some of the seating angles did not line up as ideally as you would like, but overall it worked for them for many years. That's all for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.